placed on our podiums. So we have a lot of faith in the red team. Meanwhile, Kyna, Ackerman, and Hyper have been making the upsets.
Well, Baltazar hunting for that weapon gets tagged, double recovery in return.
Juggles.
Man, so every time that I see Fiend in Baltazar's games, I feel like it's just kind of like this steady pace to those first knockouts, and then everything just starts falling like dominoes.
We like to pretend that's the warm-up time, right? Like that's where they're getting their time put in. But now Fiend's in trouble on the right side.
I didn't mean Fiend and Baltazar were the dominoes. What's happening?
Some kid came in while you're setting up the dominoes and knocked them all over and is just laughing at you right now.
You can trust the cats to get around the dominoes without knocking them over, but the dogs just coming in, barking, tearing things up. Jeez, Kyna Ackerman and Hyper, serious.
They're looking really good with this double Bodvar comp. Fiend with the big side sig, though, will get one. Goes for the neutral sig, a little delayed on that one. Was likely trying to follow up off of the side air, but still advantage to this blue team as Kyna is kind of not hurt.
Kyna's kind of not hurt. And Kyna getting knockouts onto Fiend, jeez. So now 5 stocks to 3. The lead just continues to spread for the blue team.
Yeah, this is looking real big for this blue team, and I am expecting a swap from Fiend off of this Brawlhalla to something a little bit more defense heavy.
Ooh. Man, yeah, Kyna and Hyper, they are just controlling so much stage presence. Every time it's, hey, we're going to knock you away, we're going to knock your teammate away, we're just going to split you wide, we control center stage, and they've turned that into a significant advantage, almost knocking out Baltazar again.
Fiend trying to get this knockoff off of Hyper. Can't quite get it. Kyna still living on this first stock. Baltazar with the sider, puts Hyper down to his final stock, gets the knockoff out of Kyna, but still Fiend in the red, low defense on this Brawlhalla final stock, has to live.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't live.
Yeah, the quick alley-oop, and now Baltazar left alone. He's got like a stock and a half. Oh, and the save?
Wow.
Hyper's ridiculous. Hyper is ridiculous.
What a play. Down air immediately goes down with it to save the teammate for the extra stock. This is looking so good for this blue team in game number 1.
Now Baltazar not wanting to get, oh yeah, Hyper just giving him, who's got 2 thumbs and is an absolute monster? This guy.
Also has a monster teammate with him. Kyna gonna finish that one off, and that is game 1 in convincing fashion over the upset, Fiend and Baltazar.
Ooh, I did not expect this set to start out this way.
No, absolutely not.
That was just Kyna and Hyper continuing their momentum from their past sets, saying, we're not done taking big names. We want more. Put another notch in the belt.
It's that Grim Reaper meme as he's knocking on all the doors, and it's got pictures of everyone, and the next door is Fiend and Baltazar. But Fiend going to make the swap over to the Barasa. Like I said, wants something with a little more defense. It's going to be the Barasa taking out of the defense, actually, to make sure that he has that 5 movement speed, that comfort base for a lot of players.
Yeah, I mean, he's got enough defense to play around with, even taking out of it. Like, Barasa is a brick meat house. Like, he is absolutely ridiculous. And he keeps the axe, so he has that powerful weapon, same as Fiend the Human. But the blasters trade off for the sword.
Nice axe hits. I think that was a left DI from Kyna off that second nair as well. Very interesting, but Kyna taking a whole lot more damage here in game number 2.
Yeah, Kyna did a lot to set up their team for victory. You know, trading off into Hyper, Hyper getting the knockouts, but Kyna knocking them in, those quick alley-oops. And I think, yeah, they've got to take out Kyna. Now they've got a momentary power play against Hyper. Oh, fighting his way back onto stage.
Yeah, that was good movement around the double weapon tosses from this red team. The stomp into the recovery, still not quite enough. Oh, sorry, that was a downlight into the recovery from Fiend, but still Hyper holding on to that first stock. Side air, not going to do it. Team combo opportunity, though.
Oh, look at
Oh
this
my
damage!
goodness.
And a
he
knockout!
still gets a stock.
Oh my gosh. Look at how much damage Kyna took, already deep in the red.
And I have to believe some of that was just knowledge and improv from this red team, because it was Baltazar in the unarmed, and he finished it off with a neutral light while Fiend was in the air. It's kind of an awkward spot to be in, and all he got was a falling side air. But stock advantage is Kyna in the red on his second stock, and Baltazar still on the first.
Oh, momentary power play. But Fiend just chunking away at the blue team still. Going for the edge guard. No.
Kyna able to make his way back
Yo!
up onto the stage. Nice plays from the blue team, adding up a lot of damage quick, showing some life in him.
Yeah, this is volatile. I mean,
Oh!
Okay, Baltazar, calm down.
Just put a neutralizing agent on all of that volatility. Baltazar is shutting down any momentum the blue team had, and Fiend making sure the momentum swings heavily in the red team's favor.
Jeez, and now Hyper in the danger zone. Deep red, Baltazar, you know, going to be hunting, Kyna putting a stop to that.
Nice plays off of the soft platform, which was a little extra height to get that knockout. Fiend gonna eat that side air, but this is that Barasa. Extra defense, survivability.
He is the Diesel heart. His heart is an engine. He's more machine than man at this point. Ah, but even machines will break over time. I think the main thing to watch here is Hyper. You see him playing that back support position because he's so incredibly damaged, but now Kyna just about even.
Yeah, this is potentially doable for the blue team, but it's going to be tough. They are both red, unarmed, and they are eating hits right now. This red team looking to finish this one off, tie this one up one apiece. Still no weapon spawns in favor of the blue team. Just complete denial coming out from this red team. Woo.
Hyper getting back onto stage. Is it going to be too little too late? Baltazar is really gunning for Kyna, but no, they just gunned for Hyper. Fiend actually blasting him off of the top.
They almost got Kyna in the meantime. Deep red now. A couple more weapon tosses, and he might be out of here as well, but it's going to be the side air, and Fiend and Baltazar tie it up.
Man, you know what? For as much of a lead as they had been building, I didn't expect it to get so incredibly close at the end. I think that's kind of the theme of the day. Even though you get those 3-0, 3-1 sets, there's a lot of matches that are just so down to the wire. You wish you could give partial credit.
And the thing you love about South America, that most people love when they're watching the South American region, is how it's like almost non-stop action. Like, despite the fact that it's super volatile and that it's like 3-0s and shutdowns, it is still just people blazing at each other. That Diesel heart is on fire, and we are going into game number 3.
I mean, look at his hands are on fire.
That can't be safe. Fire hands around a Diesel heart, like that's
You're just asking for trouble, man. Imagine if he tries to, like, you know, give another Barraza CPR with those things. That doesn't work.
Gotta ask, how many miles to the gallon does Fiend get on this Barasa? Because he's getting a lot of mileage right now.
Oh man, you know what? I don't think it's that efficient, but man, he does not care about burning resources.
Yeah, well, obviously not if he's burning his hands constantly. Game number 3, though, so far looks a little bit in favor of the blue team. Maybe?
Honestly, with that scramble, I can't even tell. It's all going to depend on these first knockouts.
Nice recovery. Baltazar.
Oh my. All right, there were technically 2 team knockouts that happened there simultaneously just because of how crazy it was.
I was like, oh, Fiend's about to live. Nope, Baltazar shut that one down. Oh, Kyna's about to live. Hyper shuts it down. And so far, stock count in favor of the blue team. But look at Kyna's health. He's in the orange already on the second stock.
Yeah, this match is absolutely a seesaw. It's all just going to keep teetering back and forth between who gets knocked out after the next.
Nice rotate from Hyper. Neutralizes his teammate a little bit there, but Fiend is in the red. Hyper looking for that recovery, but he's going to go back onto the stage. Baltazar going to get away with that whiff side sig.
Oh my gosh, there's so much team damage happening, but I mean, they're just all constantly in the scramble zone. The
Nice
save! That was clutch.
Hyper comes in, gets the down air as well. Side sig thrown out, and Kyna, just a deer in the headlights, eats the entire spear, and that is going to keep the stock count even.
I mean, look at how uneven the stock counts are, the damage. It's like watching somebody just spin a bunch of plates and they just start dropping one after the other, and you're just like, oh no, everything's crashing down around you.
A beautiful train wreck. Kyna deep on the right side, able to get back up safely though. Fiend does disarm himself on the whiffed weapon toss. Hyper still living on that second stock.
Woo,
not for long,
not
the
for
side
long.
air.
So now once again, we find ourselves in this situation where
Nice.
it's everybody down on their final stock, and I have no idea what's going to happen.
Fiend on this left side
Oh.
does get the wall touch. Trying to wait it out. Get up safely.
Just manages to touch, gets that last blast on the blaster's recovery. That's where the bulk of the
Oh.
damage is, but uh-oh.
Nice side air.
Baltazar's
Oh,
out.
that's not
Fiend.
enough.
This is going to be kind of
Ah!
really tough. All right,
All right,
I'm
good
going to
movement,
say,
good movement.
oh no,
He
oh
needed-
no.
He
Have
needed
enough
that
to make
nair.
it back.
He needed the nair for the chase dodge up. Hyper and Kyna gonna go up 2-1 over Fiend and Baltazar. Things are looking rough for the Fiend fans out there.
I would not have predicted this. We didn't predict this.
Absolutely
we
not.
had the pre-show. I don't think we even really talked about Hyper and Kyna
Nope.
Ackerman. They just burned their way through this lower bracket. Absolute monsters.
What a powerhouse team making this run through the lower bracket. Fiend gonna be sticking with the Barasa though. And now we go into game number 4. Fiend and Baltazar have to win the next 2 in order to keep the dream alive and go into the loser semifinal. Otherwise, it's going to be Hyper and Kyna continuing this lower bracket tear.
So can they break this theme, that tradition of it's all 3-0s or 3-1s for sets? It's up to Baltazar and Fiend to change history.
The first ever best of 5 in South America? Unheard of.
What? Never would I ever.
Put a finger down. Never have I ever seen a South American best of game 5.
We're looking to fill in some bingo sheets today. That's just kind of how it goes.
Again, the scramble at the start of this one and no major swings. Every time I want to say, oh, maybe it's in favor of one team, the other team brings it back. Baltazar deep on the right side, though, is currently unarmed.
Woo!
The side sig will launch out Hyper. Gonna need him.
Oh my gosh, back end of the breakdance, but that Barraza, so much defense.
Oh, but he neutral sigs his
Nah,
teammate
he's
on
fine.
the respawn.
He's alive.
Wasn't too damaged. It's okay.
Okay, maybe not that time. Jeez.
Things looking good for the blue team as Kyna still sitting on that first stock, able to follow up off the neutral light from Hyper as well.
Jeez, Kyna somehow still surviving. Trying to build some extra credit. Ooh, and beat out the recovery from Fiend. Kyna just pouring on the damage. Side light, side air, finally enough to knock out.
But Hyper trying to capitalize off the team damage, that down air putting Baltazar in hit stun. Still red team looking rough as Kyna has a fresh stock. Big side air will take out Hyper. Baltazar, of course, the team damage slightly less force, so Baltazar lives.
You gotta think maybe it's, hey, Hyper down to their final stock, Baltazar down to the final stock. They are the targets to watch because the team advantage can swing so wildly based on that.
What?
Oh my gosh!
What?
That was slick.
and that was extra. Hyper with the ground pound. Fiend trying to save. Fiend can't even save himself. It's all over.
Oh my gosh.
Hyper and Kyna are gonna upset the bracket and take Fiend and Baltazar out of the tournament. What a finish.
I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it. How quickly everything just fell. Kyna and Hyper capitalizing so incredibly well during that offstage situation. Look at this final clip. That combo, I don't know if that was like planned. That seemed pretty freestyle. That was nuts.
That was absolutely insane. I have to believe,
I respect
like,
the save attempt, but oh geez.
there you're seeing that team combo just a little while ago, and I have to believe that was like partway practice, partway improv, because like the first half, that's something that I've seen time and time again. But the gravity cancel D-Light recovery reversal is something that I have not seen before in a team combo of that setup.
Man. All right, that was just an absolutely wild final game.